So there is a video game collection currently up on eBay, asking $98,000, and it is
Or best offer.
or best offer,
Or buy it now.
and it is almost entirely systems.
Box systems.
Boxed systems, supposedly all new and boxed, all new and boxed, never used.
It's an impressive collection.
And it is. I mean, reading through it, it's like tiring, and then you think you get to the end, and then there's more.
There's about, what do you say, about 100?
100, yes, sure,
about
easy.
100 or 120, I would
Easy.
say.
But what makes this...
Do you want to run through some real quick?
So, I mean, I'll just... I'll mention some of these. So
some are new in open box, some are new in box.
So we've got Nomads, we've got Jaguar CD systems, we've got some
different Game Boys.
we've got
3DS XL.
Yeah, we've got Tetris bundles, we've got Gold Star 3DO, Panasonic 3DO, we've got a couple of Gamecoms new in box.
Odyssey 500.
Yep. Bailey Astrocade sealed factory shipping box and Television 2 computer module.
New NES in open box.
3 Neo Geo Pocket Colors.
Pikachu N64.
All the Game Boy Advance SP limited editions.
Game Boy Colors.
Some Odyssey stuff, and then some random games that he has at the bottom.
Original Mana-Box Odyssey games, though, like the add-ons like Fun Zoo and Handball.
Yeah.
And then there's like only 7 or 8 random NES and Super Nintendo games for some reason, like Blackjack on the NES. It's just funny to me, out of all those things, is NES Blackjack.
So, all of these are never used and new in box, is what it says in the description.
Most of them.
No, it says all of these are never used and new in box.
Oh, okay. Some say qualified. We'll get into that.
So that's interesting, but it's still okay. It's an eccentric video game collection, but it's not as weird until you factor in the fact that many of these are quote unquote slabbed. A lot of these have been VGA graded.
Yes,
and that's bizarre to me.
In acrylic boxes surrounding your system that you cannot open easily.
Yeah.
So basically, they're not usable.
So
it also makes them protective. They're also a lot heavier. They're also bigger because of that acrylic.
It's just it's strange. I mean, you are buying a significant amount of space essentially if you pick this up. Space for systems that ideally you're not supposed to open. If you really wanted to open these and use them, you could probably put this collection together close to cheaper because you're not paying for the VGA tax. I mean, we've talked about before, I hate the VGA grading, so I think it's strange that it's inflating this. So this is also going to go to a very specific type of collector who likes to look at the stuff more than they like to use it in any way, shape, or form if it's going to be trapped in a box.
Sure. I mean, I don't even want to even get into this Price is Right or not. I have no clue.
I don't either.
For sealed systems, I mean, I know the value of a new NES system just because I have one, and it's below 1,000. It's between 600 and 1,000. A new Pikachu, I just sold one. I had one. They run about 500 to 600.
Sure.
That's the range. But some of these, like the Game Boy systems, I have no idea what they would go for new. And are there a lot of Game Boy Color Kiwis out there that are new? I have no clue.
Sure.
I've never looked. So my argument against a price this high, obviously he's setting it probably higher as he wants to. You have a very, very, very limited number of people that would even spend half this amount of money to get this stuff. Because you know why? A lot of it's graded, and that's a turn off. It's a turn off to some people.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Big
I mean, you when you're selling half of it graded, those people aren't going to be able to use those. And I know a lot of people don't use their box systems, but they have the opportunity to. When it's VGA graded, you are breaking the seal on what you paid a premium on.
Yeah,
thus making that extra money you spent worthless.
And this price, you're not going to have someone trying to break this up into lots and resell it.
He says, "Oh, I guess yeah."
I was going to say that's going to be impossible because of the price. And again, you're going to have to then get top dollar for all this stuff and find someone that. How many people want a slabbed Odyssey 500? You know, how many people want an Odyssey 500? I mean, I have one probably in the garage, but how many people want it slabbed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even in the off chance you want to use it, some of this stuff, obviously, you couldn't.
And then this is even crazier, although I kind of agree with it if this is actually going to go through. You have to actually visit and see it for yourself.
If you want to buy it, you mean?
If you want to buy it, you
well,
have
it's pickup only. So you got to be in Westbury, New York.
Oh,
to pick it up.
he said he would. It says in the description he would work on shipping. He would really prefer not to, but you have to. He says that you have to go see it before you can bid on it or buy it. And I guess that makes sense with something like that. You don't want to get someone who's like, okay, I'm buying this, but we really need to work on shipping. Okay, here's the shipping, and then complain about all the condition.
I think this is a good telltale sign for, or at least cautionary tale for, what type of collector you are. And not that you should always think about, would someone want my shit when I don't want it anymore, but how much trouble will I have to get rid of my shit?
Well, yes, and this is the other thing. How much trouble and effort did you spend? How many years? How much man hours did you spend? How much of your life did you spend putting this collection together? Now, if you spent if you spent that amount of time and you kept it and you were happy with it and you were proud of it, that's one thing. But if you're selling it off, that's entirely wasted time.
I'm not even going that route, because everyone gets rid of collections eventually. Some of my collections eventually go. And honestly, probably 90% of this was off of eBay. So he probably just had saved searches and just did it. My argument is, how much wasted money did you to fucking grade all these systems you spent?
Oh, sure.
How much thousands and thousands of dollars to grade this shit?
Just think of the shipping.
And you haven't added, not even counting the shipping. If it costs $45 to, $60 to grade a single NES game in the box for a game. So multiply the amount of acrylic and time, and for like a box Pikachu N64 system is going to be at least 4 times that.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like,
you're talking potentially $200 to $300 for one console to do this, potentially, for a bigger one. Now another own possibility, $150 at least plus shipping.
I guess. I mean, we're just guessing at this.
I'm just saying a game's like $50.
Okay, but what I'm just saying is, before you even factor that in, the shipping would have killed most people just to get all these items out to VGA grading.
So that money's gone. That's the problem with the VGA grading. It's a very niche market. Especially for once it's a niche market for games. For systems, I don't know anyone who's ever been interested in VGA graded consoles personally.
No, this is actually the first time I've heard of it.
No, I've seen it before, but I've seen it, but I don't know who's interested in it.
No, because
of all the reasons, the aforementioned reasons, and plus it doesn't automatically jack the price up, which you assume. Oh, I have a graded, a graded Magnavox Odyssey 200. They're usually $50. Now I think it's $150. Why? Because that's the extra money you put into it. Because you put the extra $100 to get it graded into it.
Right.
Do you also want the shipping costs on top of that recouped? That's a question to ask. Is that part of the inflated price?
Right.
It's a question to ask. These aren't comics being graded. You already know are worth tens of thousands of dollars. That, all right, it makes sense to protect them and get them graded. Because that's what the market is.
Yeah.
This is not what the market is for these.
You're pulling a value out of your ass based on the fact, because there's no history to this.
When you grade a comic or something like that, there's already an established value for that grade.
Right. On
a scale that's already obviously established for decades. For games, it's who the hell knows. What's the difference between a Sega Game Gear columns bundle, VGA 80 versus 85? I have no clue. And I have no idea what the value difference is. It's not established. So, I wish this guy luck in selling this out, but I don't know who's going to be interested in this. I just don't. I don't know. It's a very specific niche collector set, and of course at that price, all new in box is going to cost you. Will this guy even take 60%? Would he take like $62,000? Would that be unreasonable? I don't think it'd be, but maybe to him it would be. Probably, do all his time and effort.
Probably depends on why he's selling it. I mean, he probably doesn't need the money if he's done this,
and he's not going to break it up. Only has a full set, so.
Yeah, like I said, you're buying a large chunk of space. I mean, that's the other thing. You are really limiting your buyers now, because now you have to have someone with a house big enough to take all this in.
And obviously tens of thousands of disposable income.
Yep.